Welcome back, my gardening friends, to the jobs for September on our allotments. I think the sunflowers will last another month, and maybe in October we'll get those heads taken off, put somewhere for the birds to get to first, but no doubt the mice will find them, and then plant them everywhere for me. They're so kind. September the 26th, I'll be taking my giant veg hopefully to a location where it can be weighed and measured. I'm going to be taking this or the other cabbage, my beetroot and the long roots we'll see in a minute or later on. But the sunflowers and the wildflower garden has done really well this time, so mustn't grumble. This month I'm going to be taking out the pomegranate bush from there, and these grapes are almost ready. Not very good, they had a little bit of mildew on them, but we'll leave them and then hopefully they'll be ready, and I'll get rid of all the grapevine within the greenhouse, because this has been reasonably successful. Maybe shouldn't have planted the yellow courgette in here, the zucchini, peppers definitely, and maybe left the tomatoes out, but it's given me a few ideas for the future if we don't try these things. And this is the gravity fed rainwater guttering system, all connected to some rain guttering pipes all the way around this greenhouse. Using the wick method. It's worked quite well, and it will be replicated in the Polytunnel in the new year. The leaf mould has now got really wet. I presume there's cardboard on top of there. Cardboard's pretty good at keeping the water out if it's at an angle, but I do need to start thinking about getting the trommel sorted, getting that motor fastened to that working. Clear this pile of old compost. I know where that's going now. I am doing a few changes, just washing a few buckets there. We need to get a little bit tidier. The comfrey is now going to stay. That will now grow and die off naturally on its own. The apples have done really well. I do keep trying them, but that's my best one, I think. I think it's a Braeburn. That one's nice and clean. And then you've got others that have got marks on, and won't be tied any grubs in there because I take no prisoners. My teeth will chomp through you, just don't have to look. So there are the containers of potatoes. We had 4 this year, just 4 containers. Because of the lockdown, I planted them in the ground, in the permanent bed now we're calling it, because I didn't have one. We might not have got to water them, but look happens. Allotment here in Allotments was classed as exercise and a shop, so I'll be revealing one of those this month. And those pallets there, I need to strip the wood off that, see what wood I can get ready for the Polytunnel revamp and raising it up by a metre. I also want to dig back now and find the edge of these beds again, and we'll take any of the good strawberry plants. There's some of those wildflowers that get everywhere. I need to get those roots out. Another variety of apple here. I haven't got a clue, but definitely getting some nice apples this time. Just need a little bit of patience. I need to do something with the plum. We are only allowed 6 foot, or we get a letter. And I do need to get this post back up and some extra pegs in to hold it down. Those 3 barrels that we linked using the siphoning method are now moved to plot 3, full of water. And now we've had a few hours of dry weather, I must start and get picking the raspberries that are still worth taking. Oh dear, it's a shame, isn't it? But we've still got quite a few good ones. As you can see, a lot of them have just withered up with the rain. Some nice ones though, especially the ones hiding under the leaves. Excuse me. I did mention that I needed to tie some of these in, and this is what happens if you don't. I've had one of the big ones snap off. Never mind, there's quite a few down there. I've now decided these raspberries haven't done brilliantly. The other row raspberries give me more than we need, so everything's coming out here now, and this is where I'm going to concentrate on growing my giant red cabbages in the future. So again, we'll be opening the path up, get some of the raspberries, strawberries, and remove these. These aren't brilliant. They look nice, but not very productive. Must be a complete different variety. Now, we did say some of Bill and Val's sunflowers didn't come true. This one has, and this is one that the mice planted, or it's one where the seeds fell out. And this bumblebee has been here absolutely ages. Hello. He keeps putting his legs up saying, just leave me alone. But they do enjoy the sunflowers. This is where I've been dumping some of the stuff, so we'll be able to have a fire here now when we're allowed. No issues with the fruit cage, nothing to do on that. One or two little holes in the netting, and where the birds have been digging through, but we can put some extra mulch around that. A bit of weeding to do. The beans took a bashing in the wind, and we're slowly clearing up the vertical garden. Lots of tomatoes to pick there. Not going to pick them yet, they'll last a bit longer. I've taken one of the New Zealand spinach back into the grow room under the grow lights to see if I can keep them going for as long as I can. But this is still productive, and hopefully the celery will keep going there. It's going a little bit yellow, but that's where the tomatoes were. Keep helping myself to the potatoes out of the bed, so we'll continue to harvest those. I've remarked them all so that hopefully I don't lose what they are, and we've got all our water stashed there. We've got 1800 litres there now. Last sowing of carrots, so much better. So these are the last sowing of carrots that didn't get the motley dwarf virus spread by the carrot willow aphid, but you can see the difference there. But hopefully we'll get some decent carrots, and we went carrot mad because we didn't know what was happening. Celery's in there. I think that will be the best celery, but it's took a few pallet collars to blanch it. What beans are left on now will stay on, and we'll leave these now, and I don't think it'll be this month. We'll pick these next month, but we've got quite a few that are looking nicely going to seed. Turn your back on them, they're too big. So only having one bed of beans, permanent bed next year. So these beans will stay exactly the same as they are. We'll grow just enough for what we want. This is going to be all cleared out. We'll get some green manure on it, and this will be the asparagus bed, and we'll plant that asparagus here at the right time in the spring. If anybody knows when the best time to plant asparagus that's been grown in pots, please let me know in the comments. So we've got 10 200 litre barrels there. One is part full with fish poo. We've got another 5 barrels here. Yep, they're all full. 5 barrels there. I need to move that one, so if I get another one free, but I think everything's full now, so I've collected enough water while I do the Polytunnel revamp. So one of the jobs for September will be moving and bagging up all the wood chips. These 3, nearly 4 years old now, and I do need to sieve some of them to make my own potting compost for the beans. Fill the cardboard rolls with that, equal parts leaf mould and wood chips. We've got some of the white radish in here, icicle, something similar. This will be topped up from the soil from in the Polytunnel. These bags are full of water now, but I can't line this until I take my long veg out, and hopefully we've got some nice long veg this year. I'm going to concentrate on long veg and giant cabbages in the future. Seems to be what I'm reasonably good at. Wow guys, we've never seen it this tidy before. Yeah, you think tidy, but I'm working on it. We used to have 2 barrels here, one stacked on top of another one there as well. These are the barrels that run the guttering. So now I can actually take these out, take the guttering off, take these out, and then that opens everything up. These 2 big slabs will be moved to here, and that's where I'm going to have my rocket stove. I'm going to build a rocket stove maybe over the winter or the following winter, see what time we get. But I will set the slabs there so that we don't get any fires. So I've got some quite deep-rooted weeds to get out there. Nettles, I haven't just cut them off, they'll need digging out. And there's some there as well. But there will be a hole there, so any surplus material here can be buried, as well as the pea gravel. I've sorted all the pots I'm keeping. There used to be a little shelving place there where I used to clean my pots. That's now inside here. Just give it a bit of a clean. This shovel was put out. Looks like it's a cheap, nasty one. Somebody's used it, just bent it double. I've knocked it back, but you can't get it back. So it's not much use, but nothing wrong with the handle. Drill the pot rivets out, take that handle out, put it onto another. Free, please take. By all means. I don't think it's hardly been used. I've got no grass. Great for bartering. Swap it for a bag of compost. Let's swap it for a bag of compost, he says. I'll pick anything up. So just a little recap, that rebar denotes where the wooden frames come in. So everything's coming up. I think I've got a little diagram somewhere. Let's have a little look. Hello everyone. Still haven't named Robocrop's partner and baby. Any more suggestions, please pop them in the comments. And oh yes, okay, I shan't forget this year to plant Marie Curry's broad beans. So in yellow is the woodwork and frame. We've got the metal bar that runs across there. It's buried now and it's gone rotten a little bit, so we'll have to see. We're going to have to cut it off anyway, and that's what it'll roughly look like. And then there'll be more timbers in between, and maybe air vents, or I'll just use Enviromesh around the bottoms for ventilation. Thank you for looking after that for me. Not sure when I should be emptying the barrels. It probably won't be a job for this month because everything's still growing quite well. I will take off all the remaining grapes just to get rid of the wasps, and I bought up my chili, my pepper plant from out of the greenhouse grow room because it's far too big, and it'll be fine in the Polytunnel. As you can maybe be able to see, there's a few going orange now. I've left the cucumber in because it's started to grow again. Whether we get anything off it or not, I don't know, but The polytunnel as it is will stay for now. This is where I get my bindweed issues. You just can't get in there, so I'll be moving the slab. There's all the water barrels underneath. We'll get out what we can, and I'll mulch it up. And hopefully my plot holder next door neighbour, we can do something with this and stop them. Use some more boards. It's reasonably stopped it down here, but we will see. Water levels are down, but we've got all winter to top those up. So get these weeds out here, the slab's moved, leveled out, and then I can perhaps wood chip so far over just to make it easier to walk on. These are the brood ball onions, whatever you'd like to call them. 2 labels there, one's been sprayed with a sealant. There's lots of weeds forming here from my compost, so I'm going to mulch this up with the compost I find that's got very, very few weeds in. This is my best beetroot as far as I know, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to beat my personal best. Fingers crossed, but you never know until you actually get them out. Some of these have got side shoots on. Don't know what's happened to the celery here. Tastes good, but not as good as the other. Maybe too much sunlight. We will see. We will see. There's another beetroot there, and here's the radish going to seed. I'm going to let it go now, see what seed we get from it. And it won't be long before I'm revealing one of my Jerusalem artichokes. See what we've got. May as well start taking them now, because they do take some eating, and come January, February they start rooting down anyway, so they need starting very soon. I'd rather take them while they're small. All that rain we've had and they're still wilting, so it does prove a point. You've still got to water even though it's raining with containers. Now, I did start to tell you about this in the end of July tour. So because we're getting a lot of sunshine on this square foot garden and the vertical garden, I'm going to create a big hoop, not just a little one to stop the pigeons from landing on the top, a larger one, so that is a little bit, it'll be higher than that so the plants can grow, and then it'll be shaded, but I'll still be able to walk through. Maybe have something here, but just something to keep some of the sunshine off the square foot garden and the vertical garden. I didn't want to have something here to roll up. I may as well just walk through. So we'll join these up with some small lengths of rebar. And there's the rebar there in the ground, and I've got some netting that I can use the wife's sewing machine to stitch it together. If you haven't seen that video how I stitched 2 meters of debris netting together to make a 6 meter, then why not take a look at it? I'll see if I can put it in the cards. I've got a little bit of an idea what I'm doing with the shed now. I think I'm going to replicate the pallets down the front here, down the front there, and Nigel reminded me from Muddy Boots how he does in front of his greenhouse door. He's got a broom handle at the bottom of the debris netting, then he rolls it up, and then he uses a piece of guttering to drop it into. So that might be better than just having something that I'll move. At least I can roll it up on those nice days, maybe when the weather's good. The onions there, all doing well, just removing any bad ones as they come. And I've got plenty of garlic now, so I'm going to make up some garlic spray like Tim suggested. And I'm pretty sure that shouldn't be coming out the top of the polytunnel. It's lasted well though. It's got to be at least 12 years old now. I've nursed it through thick and thin, and realistically it's still in reasonable condition. I might be saving some of the plastic, but all the joints have been sealed with silicone. I changed the the windows from plastic to EnviroMesh. It'd be nice to actually cover it with the proper clear plastic in a couple of years' time, but I've got one of these covers that Carl sent me, so I'm going to put that on temporary, because then if I can cut into that one, I don't want to put a brand new cover on it until I'm absolutely sure where all the doors, windows and everything's going. I think that's a plan. I'm pretty sure these sprouts are going to end up I'm going to eat these before Christmas. Slightly blowing, but let's hope they stay together. One's looking a bit worse for wear, but that'd be a nice excuse me cleaned up. Well, there weren't much left of that, was there? Oh well, excuse me. First sprout of the year. Very nice, very nice. We've got these this potato to reveal. It's the pea-sized potato, and remember the leggy tomatoes, we folded them up, made them really small, put them some horizontal, some vertical. Not sure which is which. We'll have a look, get that done. And I can't believe how quickly this year's gone with everything that's gone on in the world. But if you've liked the content of this video, please consider subscribing. Check out my playlists, especially hashtag starting a new allotment if you're new to growing. Hit the like button and do please comment. I reply to all the comments. Like a little bit of chit chat. Take care, my friends. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time. Ta-ra for now.